Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Mary Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's top stories, we join Malaysia team members at a health awareness exhibition in a local shopping mall. Next, in the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers are holding scholarship award ceremonies for outstanding students in need. Finally, in Taiwan's new Taipei City, children at Tzu Chi summer camps are learning important life lessons. With the arrival of Typhoon Sulik, many farmers have been quick to harvest their crops before the storm landed in Taiwan. One farmer in Changhua County, who called in the help of family and friends, was in a rush to gather all he could before losing his field to the wind and rain. In fact, scenes like this can be seen all over Taiwan as citizens brace for the arrival of Sulik. Scissors in his right hand, grapes in his left, Mr. Xu, a farmer in Changhua County, is working quickly to harvest his field before Typhoon Sulik lands in Taiwan.
The typhoon is coming. We have to hurry up and pick the fruits. Otherwise, when the wind and rain sweep through here, all the grapes will be destroyed.
Normally, harvesting only takes 1 or 2 people, but in order to make sure all the fruits are gathered, Mr. Xu has recruited a bunch of help.
The price is just okay. We are just making ends meet. Yes, we need lots of people to help because the typhoon will arrive tomorrow.
Meanwhile, on a pataya, or dragon fruit farm, Mr. Chen has been working since early morning to save the fruits of his labor.
If the typhoon brings heavy rain, then many of the roots will flood and rot.
The arrival of Typhoon Sulik not only has farmers worrying about their crops, but vegetable vendors concerned about a spike in prices. At the end of the day, however, everyone simply hopes to get through this storm safely and without too much damage to their pocketbooks. Recently, the Malaysian Medical Association and Local Health Bureau held the 3rd Health Education and Health Awareness Exhibition at the Mid-Valley Mega Mall. The event was joined by some 30 organizations, including Kuala Lumpur and Selangor team members and local Tzu Chi volunteers. During the event, team members offer free health checks and medical advice to passers-by and also seize the opportunity to encourage members of the public to go meatless. This is the scene at the 3rd Health Education and Health Awareness Exhibition in Malaysia. Today, Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Timah members are joining the event for the 2nd time, providing free health checkups for event goers.
I find that the people who I work with in Tzu Chi, they're very passionate about what they do. And I do hope that Tzu Chi can also help us to spread the message. Preventive measures is always better than curative measures.
Due to his knee pain, Sobin Babu wants to go meatless. However, he doesn't know how to eat a balanced vegetarian diet. Luckily, Timah doctors were there to solve his problem.
Being vegetarian is quite difficult to a certain extent because you may not get all the nutrients that you need. So in this way, you kind of know what to eat, what not to eat and everything.
I told him that he can get the protein needed for his body by eating bean products such as tofu, soy milk, or nuts. Vegetarianism is not only good for our body but also the planet because we can reduce the carbon footprint of raising livestock. Other than showcasing delicious vegetarian food, volunteers also displayed a model of the ocean using recyclables.
If we don't do anything, the earth will be filled with rubbish one day like what I've done. So the thing is like we have to take the seed of action and we have to plant it in ourselves.
It says be mindful and don't worry or fret. Because I'm always worrying all the time, so I think it's very good advice for me.
Whether it is our planet or our body, it is always better to take preventative than curative measures. In Indonesia, 2-year-old Ahmed Rikafi was born with a cleft palate and was often teased by other kids as a result. Thanks to Tzu Chi's recent free clinic, the 2-year-old finally received treatment and can now enjoy a normal childhood.
2-year-old boy Rikafi was born with a cleft palate, a congenital deformity that often draws ridiculous. The genetic defect not only made him look different, but also left the boy with a hard time in eating and drinking.
I had already planned to send him to undergo surgery. What a poor boy. I really hope that he will have a better future.
To ensure a brighter future for his son, Rikafi's father worked hard to raise money for the medical fees. However, Rikafi's mother and sister also suffer from congenital disease, as both of them are visually impaired. This June, Tzu Chi Indonesia chapter held a free clinic, and upon hearing of Rikafi's case, they decided to subsidize the boy's surgery.
Now I can only pray for him. He makes me stronger.
With Tzu Chi's assistance, the boy's pain finally reaches an end, and his path to recovery has begun.
We want to assure Rikafi's mother that we can treat his cleft palate and help him restore his confidence.
Tzu Chi's subsidies not only restored Rikafi's appearance, but also brought hope to his whole family by opening a new chapter in his life.
Mr. Chen of Taichung City, Taiwan, experienced a severe pain on the outer side of his knee, which made it nearly impossible for him to walk. Doctors of Taichung City Hospital's rehabilitation department discovered that it was a condition known as iliotibial band syndrome, or ITBS. Doctors advise citizens that a warm-up and a moderate workout prevents injuries to the body.
In recent years, cycling has become a popular choice of sport for many. Mr. Chen of Taichung City experienced pain on the lateral side of his knee. When seen by Taichung City Hospital doctors, it was discovered that the excessive cycling was the culprit.
He says he feels pain on the outer side of his knee when he is cycling or after.
Taichung City Hospital's Rehabilitation Department Director Qiu Weifeng explains that this type of injury is known as the iliotibial band syndrome.
The continual rubbing of the iliotibial band combined with the repeated flexion when the knee is bent causes inflammation and sets off the pain.
To treat iliotibial band syndrome, apart from medication, sufficient rest, stretching exercises, heat compression or electrode stimulation can all be used.
If you're running or cycling, remember to take breaks in between your workout and do some stretching exercises before you continue.
If intensive exercise is necessary, doctors caution members of the public to stretch and warm up beforehand in order to enjoy the benefits of the workout.
In the United States, coming up with college tuition fees is often a burden to needy families. In both New York and Texas, Tzu Chi volunteers held scholarship award ceremonies to ensure students with the desire to continue schooling can do so without financial worries. In the United States, at the Scholarship Award ceremony, a Tzu Chi volunteer carefully pins a name tag on Karen Vargas, who is sharing this exciting day with her mother.
I had no money at all. I didn't know how I was going to go to college. I'm actually the first one to head to college to graduate from high school. And I'm really nervous, as you can see. Nervous, but yeah, I'm really glad that I got an opportunity,
The Tzu Chi Texas chapter holds scholarship award ceremonies every summer to encourage students to continue on to higher education. This year, 12 students are receiving the much-needed financial assistance.
This $1,000 scholarship helps incredibly so much. I'm so grateful for it. It was actually a surprise in our life. We were actually really trying to figure out how to pay for college, and this just came up and it helped greatly, and I'm so thankful for it.
I think education is important because it's a way to better the community around you. There's so many bad things that go on in this world, and it's just good to see that people can better it just by working.
The same joy and happiness can be felt in New York, as the Tzu Chi Flushing Service Center holds a scholarship award ceremony for 17 students.
When I heard that I got the scholarships, it was just such an amazing opportunity. And then when I found out more about the organization and what they do, I felt like this was the perfect fit. This was an organization that I felt like I could, keep in contact with for many years, and I'm really, really grateful.
I was so familiar with the background and helping others, and I just wanted to get more involved, and I just love this scholarship and what the background behind it.
Receiving this boost on their path of education, it is hoped these students will reciprocate the love they received upon their graduation. Continuing with scholarship award ceremonies in the United States, the Northern California chapter held an event to hand out financial aid to students in need. During the ceremony, a parent even presented the Tzu Chi Foundation with a calligraphy painting he drew himself as a way to show his appreciation. Before receiving Tzu Chi scholarship, Sylvia Manuel Rich first presents a calligraphy painting from her father to thank Tzu Chi volunteers.
As Sylvia said, our whole family is really appreciative of the scholarship because of the financial crisis. We really have some trouble in the last few years, and scholarships such as from Tzu Chi allow us to send our daughters, Sylvia and her older sister, to college. Tzu Chi Foundation has been giving scholarships to needy students in the United States for 12 years now. For those children who dream of a chance at education, this affection also extends to their family members. Knowing there are many out there that needs help, Lianza Tupper, a Tzu Chi scholarship recipient, has joined in teaching activities in the past year. Tupper is familiar with the American Sign Language as her mother is hearing impaired. On the day of the scholarship ceremony at the Tzu Chi Northern California chapter, Tupper's mother is very grateful and happy.
And she's happy to see for the first time a sign language performance, because usually she goes to like ceremonies and everyone just always kind of sees like my mom just like, oh, she's deaf, whatever. But this time she felt very happy and accepted to like have this performance, like almost as if it was tailored just for her.
To show their respect for this event, some students even borrow outfits from friends to wear, while others share their personal stories with the audience. Each recipient knows that, with Tzu Chi by their side, they can strive to challenge themselves and cultivate their own compassionate heart. Also about helping outstanding students in Taiwan to encourage students living in Tzu Chi's reconstructed housing, Tzu Chi's Pingdong chapter organized a scholarship award ceremony at the Chaozhou Liaison Office, where 212 students were the proud recipients of the award.
This year's recipient of Tzu Chi's New Shoot Scholarship for Special Services, Wu Yaqi, will soon begin her college life at Meihe University, majoring in social work. Not only does Wu visit solitary seniors during her free time, she also canvasses for donations for seniors suffering from dementia. Her wish is to one day go abroad and volunteer.
I want to go to Africa to visit and care for the people there.
When I came home, the mud had already flooded the first floor.
Recalling his encounters with Typhoon Morakot and Typhoon Vanapi, Yue Tao, who is currently a media major at Yishou University, has since moved into the Tzu Chi constructed new Lai Yi village with his grandmother. To extend the love he has received, Yue tutors elementary school students. On stage is third-year National Taiwan University student Wei Yijie and his younger brother Wei Yifan. The brother pair are also recipients of Tzu Chi Scholarship for filial piety.
With this scholarship award, together with my brother and the Tzu Chi sisters, we can help those less fortunate and in need.
Having witnessed society's kind-heartedness in the reconstruction of Lai Yi village, Wei Yijie decided to study social work.
When the reconstruction of our village began, that's when I became determined to serve my community.
To date, Tzu Chi has assisted over 6,000 students in Pingdong County's post-Morakot reconstruction area. Today, 212 more recipients have been awarded with Tzu Chi's New Shoot Scholarship, and volunteers promise to continue their support of the children's pursuit of higher education.
In Canada, to raise funds for Vancouver's Tzu Chi summer camp, local Tzu Chis recently organized a charity sale and a car wash fundraiser. Seeing the youngsters' hard work and dedication, many residents were inspired to offer their support.
As car owners park their cars in place, local Tzu Chis then watch each car carefully.
To me, Canada is a foreign country. These Tzu Chis are so kind, as they will donate all their proceeds to a good cause. It's very meaningful.
The car owners can also donate a sum of money of their choosing to support the Tzu Chi's charity drive. And at the Tzu Chi Canada chapter, Tzu Chis also prepare a charity sale, giving overseas Taiwanese a chance to enjoy the tastes of home.
Despite being in Canada, here we feel like we are at home because we can enjoy these delicious meals prepared by Tzu Chis and kitchen volunteers. It has been great.
Where there is Tzu Chi, there is home. With more and more people's support, the seeds of love of this organization will continue to flourish here in Canada.
Volunteers in Sanchong and Xinzhuang in New Taipei City held separate summer camps for students currently on their summer holiday. Those that participated were treated with visits to recycling stations and local farms. The children walked away from the camp with important lessons that will stay with them for a lifetime.
You've seen our study booklet, right? The highlight of life, right?
How to bring light and love to your life. This is exactly the question that students who have signed up for the Sanchong Tzu Chi summer camp are learning to answer.
I hope he learns to cherish his blessings. Nowadays, children will waste food, so I hope that will change.
It teaches the children to be a bit more independent. Also, it has helped her appreciate her blessings more. That is what I was looking for in the camp.
While in the Xinzhuang Tzu Chi summer camp, students are taken out on a visit to the countryside to experience the farming life.
It turns out that growing crops is not that easy. Every rice grain or vegetable is the sweat and blood of a farmer.
Next, the children visit a recycling station, with the hot weather doing nothing to dampen their enthusiasm. Here, the students learn how to protect the earth by sorting recyclables and reusing resources.
We need to do our best to reduce our carbon emissions. That means not drinking so many boiled drinks and not keeping the AC on all the time. And if we aren't using electronic items, then turn them off.
For PET bottles that you don't need, you can cut off the top and it can become a pencil holder or a flower vase.
Thanks to these summer camps, these children are passing their summer vacation in a meaningful way that will bring lasting and positive change.
In Fujian province, China, the labor-intensive business of glass recycling is dangerous and low-paying. But despite the hardships, local volunteers continue their efforts. Their work has convinced a local factory to change its ways. No longer are used glass bottles tossed into the river haphazardly. Instead, they are sorted into deep piles by the factory for recycling.
The glass bottles from the factory are now placed in a special concrete holding area, where it can be easily picked up by volunteers. Initially, however, bottles were simply dumped in the river or in the streets. Tzu Chi volunteers saw the sharp glass as a potential danger and began a recycling campaign, which eventually won the factory owner over and erected the concrete holding area in place today.
The recycling companies don't want to take the glass because it's not only heavy and dangerous to handle, but cheap.
Despite the difficulties, volunteers still don their gloves and walk the alleyways looking for glass bottles, constantly reminding each other to be careful. When the load is heavy, 4 volunteers simply work together to get the job done. Despite being in their 60s, volunteers have been doing recycling for more than 5 years now.
Recycling is really good. The more I recycle, the happier I am.
Recycling is good for me. The more I work, the healthier I get.
Eager to help, first-time college volunteer Huang Pei Wei accidentally cut herself on the glass. After cleansing the wound, she immediately gets back to work as she shares the same enthusiasm and conviction as the others.
The work not only fits the modern trend of recycling and going green, but also leads to a healthy mind and body.
Because glass is not degradable, it can pose a danger to pedestrians when left in the streets.
After being sorted by the volunteers, recycled glass not only becomes more valuable, but more valued. The recycled glass can be used for material in industries or even buildings. Only by reusing our resources can we strive towards the goal of a waste-free world.
In Tainan, Taiwan, a group of volunteers gathered to learn about how best to conduct home visitations from senior Tzu Chi volunteers. In the audience are a few recipients turned volunteers who vowed to do their best to walk the Tzu Chi path. Here in Tainan, Taiwan, senior Tzu Chi volunteers are sharing their home visitation experiences with fellow counterparts. Eager to jot down everything is Zhen Jiaxing, who came to be a Tzu Chi volunteer now because of the love he received as a fire survivor 2 years ago.
At that time, 30 Tzu Chi volunteers came to clean up my 3-story house. It really moved me.
Also a recipient turned volunteer is Gu Pei Zhen, whose daughter received Tzu Chi's financial assistance throughout her schooling years. Now she wants to pay the love forward.
Now that I have the ability to help others, I believe it is an affinity and I really cherish it.
Meeting Tzu Chi because of hard times, these volunteers have turned from receiver to giver.
Words of comfort can really seep into their heart. This is the most useful in their time of need.
Tzu Chi lights up dark corners and warms hearts. By overcoming difficulties together, love has the ability to make the impossible possible. The Tzu Chi Tainan Jingsi Hall recently held a one-day recycling training seminar, which was attended by over 1,400 recycling volunteers. It was a day full of positive emotions and valuable information, as every volunteer left inspired to continue their mission in the days ahead. Kicking off the day's event, the recycling volunteers first chant a section of the Lotus Sutra. Next, the CEO of Tzu Chi Technology gets on stage to thank the recycling volunteers for their hard work and to showcase the fruits of their efforts.
It is all thanks to the recycling bodhisattvas whose work and purity has made it possible for our company to do what we do.
Altogether, 1,450 recycling volunteers joined in today's class, including one 81-year-old recycling bodhisattva. Despite a day full of lectures, the senior said she ended the day feeling recharged instead of tired.
Being old, my memory is not what it used to be, but listening to what was being said, my mood changed for the better.
Other volunteers like Zhou Rongling left the event inspired to spread the message of recycling to even more people.
Returning home, I will continue to promote what was taught here today. I believe that we can continue to work together to protect the earth and prevent the environment from further destruction.
At the end of the day, each volunteer left spiritually refreshed and better equipped to care for our earth. At the end of the show, we joined Johannesburg Tzu Chi volunteers in South Africa as they began their series of winter aid relief. At the most recent distribution, with the help of local Tzu Chings, everything was carried out smoothly. Before we say goodbye, we would like to remind all in Taiwan to stay safe while Typhoon Sulik is here. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend. See you next week.